So today we're going to be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin Donatello. Definitely a figure that I've been looking for a while now. He kept going in and out of stock at different places, but we finally have him here today. So let's take a look at him. Right on front, you can see you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin. You have Donatello right here in a specific scene from the book. I won't spoil it if you haven't read it, but important scene. That's why the artwork is where it is. On the side, we get that nice artwork that you can connect to a larger mural. I believe that he connects to the Sinjabot, and I'm not sure who he connects to on the left side, but the Sinjabot is on the right side. On the back, we have Donatello, and more Donatello. You have his bio right here with the Last Ronin right there. And on this side, you have the Last Ronin, and Donatello is number 5 in the line. Right on top, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin. And on the bottom, you have everybody that worked on this figure, as well as your barcode right there. So let's go ahead, let's open them up. First, of course, Neca's Velcro, traditional packaging that I love. Let's see what he looks like. And he looks awesome. I've just been wanting this figure for so long, so it's so cool to finally have him. But right here, you can see we get a nice promo image of him in a pose. And of course, Donatello with all his accessories. Really excited to see what that fabric flag is like. Excited to see what that's about. But yeah, he looks awesome. So let's go ahead, let's open him up. Okay, so real quick before we get him fully out of the package, I just want to show you how he is as soon as you take him out in his plastic prison. He has all of his hand accessories here that are clipped in with another piece of plastic. Right here is his hat that isn't protected by anything, as well as his head and staff. And he is kept in with some twist ties. Now, everyone that collects action figures knows worst nightmare right there with all these twist ties. Of course, I gotta get it. I gotta cut them because I need this figure, but every collector knows how annoying those are. But right on back, you could also see that the flag is also connected in by another piece of plastic, which I think is held in by a piece of tape, or it's just really, yeah, it's not held in by tape. It is just connected through these points in the plastic. But yeah, that's him in his prison. Let's get him out of there. Okay, so here he is right out of the packaging, and he looks amazing. Definitely an amazing figure, as I say with all of Neca's figures, but it's just really cool to finally have all 4 turtles. But before we get into him, let's get into all of the accessories that he has. The first, of course, that I want to go over is this flag. This is the first that we've kind of seen. It does look nice all the way around for the Hamato clan. So that is really cool. Some nice detail. Mine does have a little blemish right there. Little paint error, but that's okay. Definitely looks nice. It'll look good in kind of like a larger setup for all the turtles. So that's nice. Next accessory is, of course, his bow staff, which is really nice. Nice little thing is the red knot on the bow staff, which I think I mentioned in my Michelangelo review, but all 3 brothers, other than Raph, of course, have something red on their armor because of Raph's passing. Sorry for the spoiler, but I feel like you know that if you saw all the figures. But definitely a cool staff, nicely detailed. Next up is, of course, his hat, which is why he has a double chin. We'll get more into that when we look at the figure and the head sculpts, but that is why, so this hat can fit on. Nicely detailed, nice material. Definitely looks nice. Then this isn't necessarily an accessory, but it fell off as soon as I took Donatello out. It is supposed to come out, and this is the holster for his bow staff. But just be careful not to lose this because it is so small and it is easy to kind of come off of the figure. Next, of course, is his alternate head sculpt, which has him gritting his teeth. And like I said, double chin, but that is for the hat. It is just kind of funny that he has that. And this is what the bandana looks like. Then, of course, he has three extra pairs of hands. He has two that are kind of together pointing hands. All of the brothers, I believe, have this type of hand. So if you want them all doing this, you could do that. I kind of use them for like a high three pose. So you could kind of just put them together for high five, high three. You have an open hand. Oops, I ordered these wrong. You have an open hand, two open hands right there. And then, of course, you have two gripping hands. So good amount of hands, good amount of accessories for all the poses that you want to do. But of course, let's get a look at this figure. So Donatello himself actually is the most different, I'd say, from the other three brothers in his outfit. Of course, if you read the comic, you'll understand kind of the context of why he is wearing this outfit. But all the other brothers have more of kind of a military style outfit, while his is the traditional Hamato clan outfit. So, but really nice detail all around. You can see, especially like on the area where his chest is poking out, it is really nicely sculpted as well as painted. All the way around, you see the very nice detail in the outfit. Now, right here is actually the spot where this plugs in. There we go. And you can turn that however you want, but just be sure not to lose it. He has some very nice sculpted pockets all around. He has this bandana, of course, and then the actual bandana that is on his head is different than that alternate head sculpt over there. So that's good to know. Then, of course, the legs have very nice detail all around. Very nice on the bootstraps or foot wraps, I guess. They don't really wear shoes. But yeah, really nice detail. Neca always comes in with the detail. And this line, the last Ronin line, has amazing detail. So really nice. Let's get into that articulation and let's see what he's all about. So right at the head, he can not look up very far. Let me see if that's the bandana. Nope. He can only look up about that far. Not a crazy amount, but it's all right. He also cannot look down too much. All right. But he can look, of course, to the left, to the right. Of course, the turtles in this line are a bit bigger, so they can't really look a crazy amount because of their larger kind of shoulders. But I still would have liked a little bit more movement for him. Still cool, though. The arm can go up about this far. This is a bit flexible. It is plastic, but it is a little flexible, so you can push it a little bit. You do have a rotation at the bicep that is very tight, so be careful while you're moving it. Then at the elbow, you do get that double hinge, which moves about that much. Definitely more than 90. So that's really good. And of course at the wrist you get some swivel and you get in and out. Really nice. And it does look like these hands may have another or a similar issue to Leonardo, where his hands actually the paint did chip on the joints specifically. So that's just something to watch out for, that the paint may chip on the joints of the hands mainly. I don't think it'll chip from here. But this arm can go up about this much, which is about the same, but it is a little bit more compared to this. And of course, you do get that bicep swivel. At the elbow, it is also double jointed, so right there. And the wrist itself swivels and goes in and out. Now, there isn't any torso or mid-ab like crunch at all, but the waist itself does twist a little bit. You don't really want to force it. I mean, realistically, if you're trying to get him into a pose, he won't go any more than that. But I would have liked a little more movement here. I understand, again, because of his outfit design, but I feel like that definitely would have been cool for a more action-oriented pose. But still, you get some movement there. At the leg, it can go up if you twist it. If you twist it, it can go up about that much, but his entire leg does twist, and that is about as far as you're going to get. That is on both sides. Then at the knee, it is double jointed, so it will go about that much. One thing with these figures is you always want to be careful with the movement and always just learn the articulation so you don't break anything. Of course, these figures are so nice that you don't want to damage them. But again, double hinge knee. Oh. Okay. Does kind of get stuck, so you might want to push the shin like in while you're articulating, just so don't damage anything. And the foot can go back that much, can go up that much, and of course it can rock. So not the best articulation. Of course, the line itself, as far as the turtles, don't have the best articulation because they are these bigger, bulkier guys. But I still wish we would have gotten a little bit more articulation just so you could get some more action poses, because it's a Ninja Turtle, you want him to be in these crazy poses, but still, I can't lie that detail really does win over the figure. But let's go ahead and get into some comparisons, and we'll go ahead and look and see how he scales and how he looks with some other figures from NECA and from other companies. Okay, so here he is with the Star Wars The Black Series Stormtrooper, the NECA The Last Ronin Flashback Michelangelo, the NECA Halloween Kills Michael Myers, and the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog. As I say always, he looks amazing. But one thing that I really want to point out, that I believe I pointed out with Michelangelo, is that because of the way that NECA has designed the Last Ronin line, the detail on them represents, of course, the comic book style, but it also can fit in a more realistic display. So, of course, Donatello looks amazing with Michelangelo, and I cannot wait to put him with my other turtles, but he still does kind of fit with Michael Myers. Now, of course, that sentence itself doesn't make sense, putting a turtle with Michael Myers, but you get what I mean. A more realistic figure, specifically from NECA, definitely could fit in a Turtles display. Maybe you have a figure from NECA laying around that's more of kind of like a foot soldier. Not specifically a foot soldier, but like a soldier that you want the Turtles to beat up, and it will mash together well. So that's something really great with this line and with this figure specifically. Again, with like Hasbro figures, of course, that varies since their scale also varies. But I do think you could get away with it. You could definitely fit them into a Hasbro Black Series display or even Marvel Legends. And Jakks Pacific, of course, that varies per figure. Sonic is, of course, a more cartoon design. But Turtles are cartoons, so, make up a story. There you go. But he looks great, looks amazing, fit him anywhere you want. And I just really enjoyed this figure. But let's get into my final thoughts, and I'll tell you whether or not I think you should go out and get Flashback Donatello. So what do I think about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin Flashback Donatello? I definitely think that this figure is worth it. I definitely think that it is an amazing figure from all of the detail that is on the figure and just how accurate it is to the actual artwork by Ben Bishop. I definitely think it's worth it just for that. For those of you who even aren't fans or maybe haven't read the comic book yet, these figures are still worth it just for the turtles themselves. They're very nicely detailed, nice paint, and they have enough articulation that you could get some pretty cool poses. That is the only downside to the turtles, is that they don't have excessive articulation, which is something you'd want with a Ninja Turtle. You'd want them to do some crazy poses. You could have them in really dynamic poses, fighting whoever you want them to fight. That is the only downside I would say about these figures, is that the articulation isn't amazing. But of course that does happen due to the design. But I still feel like these turtles are worth it. I definitely love these turtles, and I cannot wait to put my Donatello with the rest of my collection. But what do you think? How many Last Ronin figures do you have? Are you going to get this figure? And if you already have it, what do you think? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.